Alright, here we go. Alright, what's up YouTube? This is fineokay, and today I'm bringing you guys a video on Masters LAN. I'm going to do my predictions. I can't really do the creative prediction because it actually doesn't have the losers bracket in that when you do it. So I'll show you. It only has the upper bracket, so I'm just going to do this here, and I'm just going to tell you. You won't be able to see actually which teams move on. You'll just have to remember, and I'll have to remember. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So the thing to note with all this is I'm pretty sure the two teams from NA and the two teams from EU are going to be the top teams, and they're going to end up winning. I mean, history shows that these international teams can do decently, but they usually don't take any games off of the NA and EU teams. So sticking with that, I'm going to have all four of the NA and European teams moving on. So that means Rival is going to move on, United's going to move on to round 2, Dig round 2, and Space Station to round 2. I do think if anybody has a shot, it's Black Dragons. It's a team with Kliz on as a solo laner. I think that's actually a pretty good team. I think Kliz is a good player. The only issue is, I mean, every time that these teams have played each other, the international teams end up losing. But you never know what could happen. Like I said, if one team were to win, it would be probably Black Dragons, and that's not because Space Station isn't as good as these other three teams. It's just that I think Black Dragons is actually pretty decent. So that means Team Rival, United, Dig, and Space Station in round 2. So that means Rival and United are playing each other in round 2, and Dig and Space Station are playing each other in round 2. Down here in the losers bracket, we'll have Mashu Boys versus the Latin American representative. And then after that, we'll have the Uyghur Servo. I'm not really sure what that means. It's the Oceanic team, though, versus the Black Dragons, which are the Brazilian team. So with these two matches, I probably have the Latin American representative winning out here. And then I have Black Dragons probably beating out the Oceanic team. I do have some friends on the Oceanic team as well, and I think they're good. Just like I said, I do think the best international team is probably Black Dragons. They have a lot of experience on LAN as well. And I think that the Oceanic team actually has some new players who've never played at LAN, so that's going to be a little difficult for them to win. So, like I said, Black Dragons here, and Latin American representative here. So moving back up to here, we should have Rival versus United. I actually think United's going to beat Rival here. They beat them at Worlds. I think that Rival overall is a little bit cleaner in their play, especially around objectives and stuff like that. However, I do think that United is just really good on LAN. All those players, they have the experience. It's going to be a very good matchup in solo lane with Benji and Deathwalker, just like it was at Worlds. I do think that Scream's a better jungler than Ice Ice Baby. I think Venonu and Wolfie are very close. I think Mike's better than Collis, and then Panda Cat and Vote are very, very, very close. I think that they could probably, you'll see a lot of fighting between them. But however, like I said, I think United's going to win this and beat Rival, so that would send Rival down to here to play Black Dragons, and that would also mean that United would move on to the semifinals. And then here, Space Station versus Dignitas, these two teams. I actually think this will be a pretty good set. Dignitas, really strong team, probably one of the best in the world, if not the best. The only issue they have, and they've always had, is that their LAN games aren't always great. I mean, they were considered the best team going into Super Regionals, and I think they lost almost every game, right? And didn't end up making Worlds. But they stuck together because they know that they're a good team. They just have to work out some issues when they play on LAN. So this could be the very first time that Dignitas, well, they did win the DreamHack Valencia, so I can't say the very first time because it's not like they're awful on LAN. They've won a big LAN before. It's just they've kind of historically not been that great. However, I do think Dignitas is going to end up winning and beating Space Station. I think Space Station is really good. I just think Dignitas is just a little bit better. So that means that it will be United versus Dignitas in the semifinals. Down here it will be, like I said, Team Rival versus Black Dragons in this loser, the 9 match. And then in the 10 match, it'll be Space Station versus it should be Space Station, right? Yeah, Space Station versus Latin American representative. I think Space Station is going to win that. I think it'll be close, but I still think Space Station is going to win it. And then down here, I think Rival is going to beat out Black Dragons, but that should still be a pretty good set. Definitely something you should watch. And if Black Dragons actually do well early on, I think that they may have contention to make it even out of this losers round 2. But like I said, I think the NA European teams are just going to win. So that means that Space Station is going to be playing Rival in this losers round 3. That means Dignitas and United are going to be playing in the semifinals. I think Dignitas is going to win this in the semifinals against United. I think it'll be really good, really close games, like I said before. It kind of depends on how United, if United does really well against Team Rival in this matchup here, I actually think that they'll beat Dignitas in the semifinals. However, I don't know if that's going to happen, and I think it's a little bit more consistent to rely on Dignitas here, or at least more reliable, I guess. So I have Dignitas beating out United there. Moving on to the winners finals, and that means that Space Station and Rival are going to be playing down here. I think Rival is going to end up winning that. It's a close one, though. I feel like everybody's underrating Space Station a lot. They were the first team in NA, and he's back in the jungle. He's back with the players that he played with to win the first World Championship. You know, I really feel like people are underrating him, and even I am. And it's just something in everybody's heads, and I think you in mind, that's like you can rely on United because they showed up at LAN at Worlds and won the World Championship. And this is this team's first time ever playing at LAN all together. I mean, you know, Barra and Andy and them have played together, and Bastion's played with some of these players on LAN before. It's just as a team all together, it's their first time. So I don't know, but I do think it'll be Rival. I just think it's a little more reliable there to vote for Rival. So unfortunately, Space Station will get knocked out here in the losers round 3, and then Rival will move on to losers round 4, which is basically the finals of the losers bracket. So this matchup would be United versus Rival, which would be the round 2 matchup that we saw here, which is also a rematch of the World's Finals. So even though I voted for United up here, beating Rival, I think that Rival probably will have learned a lot from playing through this and also having lost to them, that this will be a really good match. So it could really go either way. It could be United or Rival. You know, like I said, they must have learned so much from losing to them and then playing all these other teams that it'll give them a really good shot at the rematch. However, I'm still going to vote for United. I'm voting for the NA brethren, my boys. I have a lot of friends on that team, and I do think that they're really good, and I do think that they're still one of the best teams in the world, as they showed at Worlds. So I'm going to have United beating out Rival here, so Rival will get knocked out. So then it'll be United versus Team Dignitas in the finals. A really, really good matchup. This is where it gets really close, and it could go either way. I mean, almost every one of these sets could go either way, and I've said it a few times, but I do have Dignitas winning it in the winners finals against United. I'm pretty sure that's how the brackets are set up, so that they play the winners of the losers finals, which is losers round 4. I think it doesn't really say, but that would make the most sense, right? Because everybody gets a shot at the LAN, right? So, or not at the LAN, at the getting back to the finals. Everybody, even if you lose once, you get another shot. So, yeah, so I have Dignitas winning it. I think they're a really strong team. In the past, they've had some ups and downs when it comes to LAN. They've always been really good online. They won the DreamHack Valencia, I'm pretty sure, and then after that kind of dropped off a little bit as far as LAN goes. But they're still a really good team, still 5 of the best players in their roles, respective roles. Some of the best players, I wouldn't say each one is the best. But I think they'll end up winning it. But I think it'll be close, and I would not be surprised at all if United end up winning it. Like I said, it really depends on how well they do earlier on. I do think they'll end up beating Rival, but it could be really close. But if they end up doing really well in that matchup, and you can tell that they're playing really dominant, then I do think they can beat out Dignitas in the finals. But I think it's just safer to say that Dignitas will win. So those are my predictions for the Masters LAN. I think it starts tomorrow, which is Wednesday, which is the 9th of May, and it goes on until the weekend. So make sure you tune in to, I think it'll be on Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube. I think they stream it on all 3, so you know, watch it on whatever you prefer. I wish I was playing there, but what can you do? I'll be at home watching, of course, and supporting Smite esports scene. So I hope you guys watch it too, and hopefully we should see some pretty good games. I think we will. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.